How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Keeping the Faith podcast. I am your host, Jonathan Fuentes. This is my co-host, Edgar Martinez.
Hello, guys. For today's episode, we actually decided that for this and the next week or the next upcoming week, we decided to make it a little bit different. So we're not going to do that one-on-one, talk. So we decided to, so that Jonah would get his own topic, I would get my own topic. So I'm going to talk of something for this week, and then Jonah is going to bring us something different for next week. So let's go ahead and start with this episode. For today's episode, basically the topic that I want to bring is it's essentially called The Bible and All It Contains. And so to start off with this topic, it's going to be a short one. So to start off with this topic, basically I want to tell a story. It's a story that I heard from Ray Comfort, and it's a pretty nice story to really think about, and what we might think of something, and maybe it's not actually that bad. Maybe once we actually look into it, it might even make sense. So let's get to it. So basically, this is about a young man who once received a letter from a lawyer stating that his grandmother had left him an inheritance. To his astonishment, it was actually $50,000 plus a Bible and all it contains. So that was the note in his grandmother's will. It said, "I'm giving you $50,000 plus my Bible and all it contains." So the youth was delighted to receive the money. However, he knew what the Bible contained, and because he wasn't into religion, he didn't even bother to open it. Instead, he just grabbed it and put it on a high shelf, and then it stayed there. He gambled the $50,000, and over the next 50 years, he lived pretty much as a homeless. He was pretty much scrapping for every single meal that he ate. He finally became so without money. He became so poor at the point that he had to move in with his relatives. And when he was cleaning out his room, he reached out to get that dusty Bible from the shelf that he had put it on 50 years ago. As he took it down, his trembling hands dropped it onto the floor, flinged it open to reveal a $100 bill between every single page of the Bible. The man had lived as a homeless person. He thought he knew what the Bible contained, but yet he was so naive that if he would have just, maybe grabbed the Bible that day that he received the $50,000 and maybe just, opened it, he would have realized all it contained. And of course, right now, I'm talking about money, right? That it contained money. Who knows what would have happened, right? If he gambled the $50,000, who knows, what he would have done with the rest of the money inside the Bible. But I think, the story here tells us that, that grandmother left that money there, for a reason, Obviously, it was money that, might have helped. And at least, it might have really helped that guy in that situation right there when he grabbed that Bible and actually realized it had $100 bill in each page. It obviously helped, but it's actually the message that you have in the Bible. I know of a lot of people that may think that the Bible is not inspired by God, that it's just a book of fairy tales. It's a book that will teach you how to, maybe know morals, and it's just, one of those regular books, or one of those books out there that it's maybe not even true, or as far as they know, it's not even all true. Maybe some parts, but they haven't even actually gotten to to really open up a Bible and actually read it to understand what it says. Many of us, I think, would like to just grab the Bible and read it all the way from Genesis all the way to Revelation, and the truth is that it's not just about reading the Bible, it's about understanding the Bible. And the Bible is so rich in content, where I heard this side of how it was inspired by God. We have a story told where God inspired that story, and then we have another perspective from the author that actually wrote it. So I mean, it's just full of knowledge from God that we can just just by grabbing the very first page, it doesn't matter where you land, it's gonna teach you something. So I think it's very important that we don't make ourselves maybe a conclusion without actually even checking up and actually make sure that we're actually knowing what we're saying about a certain thing, and related to this topic about the Bible. We cannot just say the Bible's not true, or maybe parts of it's not true. You have to have a ground and actually say, well, it's not true because of this. I've read it, I've studied it, and I know it's not true. But the truth is, it's not always the truth. It's not always the case where we actually have studied it, where we've actually have looked really further into what we're actually saying. So this is as I said, this is just a short message to all of you right now. Maybe I hope maybe I'm getting you while you're maybe in your work, in your job, maybe you're maybe going towards your job in school, whatever. Well, right now I think it's a little hard, right, to go to school. Maybe you're in your desk, with your tablet or laptop, wherever you are. Doesn't matter, right, at the end of the day. But I hope that you grab that Bible, like in that story, that dusty Bible, that you maybe have in one of your bookshelves or one of those shelves out there, and just grab it. Maybe you're not gonna get an actual $100 bill, but it's what the knowledge of what God has inspired through the Bible, that it's actually it's more precious. That's the rich part in the Bible. So I just invite all you, whether you're a Christian, whether you're maybe just listening to this and maybe hearing this for the first time, just know that you can find a lot of wisdom in the Bible. And the Bible essentially it is a book that pretty much it's what Bible means. It's just book, but just know it's inspired by God. Of course, men wrote it but being inspired by God. And I can make you just a short analogy. Of course, this is not about giving evidence for the Bible. But if I were just to say, whoever tells you, hey, how can you say the Bible was written by God if men wrote it? Well, I can tell you, whenever you write a letter, if you were to use that same example, you could maybe do that same argument against that, maybe, and you can say, you know what, you didn't wrote that letter. It was the pen wrote the letter. Yeah, you're going really technical. Of course, it was a pen, but the pen couldn't have wrote the letter by itself. It needed an inspiration, and that inspiration was you. In this case, with the Bible, it was God. God was the inspired word. God was the inspiration behind that man, behind those men that wrote the Bible. And it wasn't any kind of men. It was men that were devoted to God, that were people of God that gave their life for God. So just take that in consideration and really read your Bible, because that's something important. And yeah, that pretty much I hit the mark on 10 minutes, or maybe a little bit more, but yeah, that's pretty much what I had to say today. And stay tuned for next week, as Jonah will bring another topic. He will be speaking by himself, but yeah, hopefully you like this podcast and then the next one. And we just want to make it a little different. We don't want to, do repetitive stuff every time. So yeah, just check us out in all our websites, or more like website platforms, where you can check out podcasts. Like Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast. And also in YouTube, you can check out our YouTube channel. We upload these podcasts there, and and also you can also check our Facebook page, where we're trying to keep up every day to upload a Bible verse there. Just something inspiring for all you folks, and I mean, we're still growing, so we don't have much visitors, we don't have much traffic, but shh, don't tell anyone. Yeah, so I hope you like this episode, and just remember, keep the faith and maintain with the Lord Jesus Christ. I hope you have peace, and talk to you soon. Bye bye.